You first want to grab a party hat from Dollar Tree. Go ahead and just start taking off those embellishments, which was really easy to just pop right off. And then just for extra durability, all I did was just hot glue the seam where the hat was put together. Again, just to make sure that this does not fall apart on me. Then just grab a plate or charger, also came from Dollar Tree. Place the hat in the center and then just begin hot gluing that right down. And just allow that hot glue to completely harden. You then just want to grab some tissue paper from Dollar Tree, and then I will be using some Mod Podge. First, I just crinkled up the tissue paper because for this project, the more wrinkles, the better. So I did this section by section, just start adding in some Mod Podge on the hat and rip up some of the tissue paper. I found that this was so much easier to do it that way. And then just begin wrapping that tissue paper around the hat. Again, the more wrinkles, the better. I was not perfect with this. I was actually really trying to have more wrinkles than it just laying completely flat, just because it gives it kind of a realistic look in the end. So again, just go section by section, add the Mod Podge, place down your tissue paper until this whole thing is covered up. And if you have any excess tissue paper around the plate or the charger, go ahead and just sand that right off. And once the tissue paper was all applied, you want to just go over it with another coat of Mod Podge and just let that completely dry. I let mine completely dry overnight. You then want to grab some Waverly chalk paint in the color ink, and all I did was just start painting this decor. And I did end up doing 2 coats just to make sure that everything was completely covered. And while I was doing the second coat, I occasionally just sprinkled some cinnamon right on top of the wet chalk paint. And this is just going to make the hat look just a little bit more weathered. You could completely skip this step if you do not want to use the cinnamon. And if you tend to add a little bit too much cinnamon to where that black isn't really showing as much, just go back over it with a little bit more of the black chalk paint. Let that completely dry. And then all I did was just go over it again with another coat of Mod Podge just to seal and protect everything. And then allow that to completely dry. Next, I made these stencils off of my Cricut machine. All I did was just spell out Salem and 1692, which is a very important year in Salem. And I just placed my vinyl stencils onto a piece of natural burlap using a Dollar Tree cut up sponge and some black acrylic paint. I just began dabbing the acrylic paint all throughout that stencil. Go ahead and peel that off, allow the paint to dry, and then just cut up the letters into individual squares. I left the 1692 just all together. And then once you have those all cut out, all I did was just find a good placement for the letters on my hat and just hot glue those right down. And then I just placed the 1692 on the bottom part of the hat, and I'll show you that in just 1 second. There we go. Look at how adorable this is. I am loving it. I then had some of this white fabric I just ripped right up, and I did soak it in some coffee just to make it look a little bit more distressed. Just wrapped it around the bottom of the hat, hot glued it so that way it stayed in place, and then just double knotted it in the front of the hat. And then go ahead and grab a stick from outside and then grab some raffia. You want to cut the raffia down just a little bit, but make sure it is longer than the bottom of the stick. Tie it off, and then what you want to do is just kind of fold the raffia back upwards, tie it again. So now the bottom is going to be folded. All you're going to do is just put your scissors where it's folded and just cut that right up, and then you'll just see that the raffia just kind of fluffs right out. And there's a little broom. Find a good placement for that broom on the hat, and then I just hot glued it in place. And there you go, guys. I am so happy with this outcome. I had so much fun creating this. I hope this inspires you guys to create your own in your own special way. If it did, please be sure to sprinkle the love. Thank you so, so much, and I hope y'all have a good rest of your day. Thanks. Bye.